Hello, what's going on, everyone? Thank you so much for joining me here this morning on Narcissism 101 Cracking the Code with me, Paul Wisdom. Good morning. Hope everybody's having a good Wednesday morning so far. Thank you so much for joining the channel today. Before we get into what we're going to talk about today, if you would like a one-on-one session, please email me at paul.wisdom_03@hotmail.com, or you can send a text message to 647-406-3057 if you want to talk, if you want to vent, if you need some more advice, if you're trying to figure out whether the person you're dealing with is a narcissist or not. Please feel free to reach out to me. I just want to say though, if you do want to call the number, just let me know that it's you and that you want to talk about your narcissistic experience, and that you've been watching my videos for quite some time, and that I'll be more than happy to give the help that you need. All right. So let's get into what we're going to talk about this morning today. Well, it's windy out there and it's raining out there, so we're gonna get into it today. And I feel like this video is very fitting, and it's something that needs to be talked about. So, what we are gonna talk about today is the title of the video. Rather, today is the longer you stay, is the closer you are to dying. The longer you stay, the closer you are to dying. And this is a fact when you're dealing with narcissistic abuse and things like that. The longer you stay, the closer you are to dying. Because you guys have to remember something. When it comes down to narcissists, when you're in the vicinity of a narcissist, when you're sitting beside them, when you're with them, what you don't realize is that they're draining your ability to function, if you will. They are doing this because the level of toxicity that the narcissist possesses, the fact that they're so controlling, the fact that they're always expecting so much of you, the fact that no matter what you do for the narcissist, it's never ever good enough, that will eventually drain you to the point where you will actually die. A lot of people, believe it or not, who've been involved in narcissistic, abusive, relationships and marriages and things of that nature, a lot of people have died. A lot of people have gotten very, very sick and even close to dying, because the amount of toxicity, the amount of them being tired, and the amount of them having to always be doing something, always being on the go, that can drain your energy. That can cause you to have stomach problems. That can cause you to have heart problems. It can cause you to always be getting sick with coughs and colds and fevers and high blood pressure and things of that nature. That's something that happens a lot with people, because you get high blood pressure from the fact that you don't know what's going on half the time. Half the time you don't know what's going to happen the next minute. You don't know what to expect, because you're always walking around on eggshells. You're always afraid of when they're going to strike again. You're always anticipating that they're gonna say something to you that offends you. You know what I mean? And they're gonna be pushing your buttons a lot. And what I mean by that is that they're gonna constantly be pushing you. They're gonna constantly be monitoring you. They're gonna constantly be moving the goalposts on you. So let's say, for example, you want to get married. Let's say that, for example, you guys want to get married, for example, and let's say that they say, you guys discuss and say, we're gonna get married within a year or so. And when that year comes, the narcissist makes up an excuse and says, oh no, we'll get married next year. And then you say, but I thought we made plans and we're gonna get married this year. And then I don't know, they just changed those plans, and you're all excited. You're excited, of course, because you love this person, right? But yet you didn't know they were a narcissist, but you love this person, right? But the narcissist knows inside their mind that those things are not going to happen, and they're moving the goalpost to see how much more you're going to give to them, right? And they do this because they know that you're going to be the person that's always giving to them, right? And they know this because they were watching you from the beginning, from when they first met you, right? They were always watching to see how much you were going to tolerate, how much you were going to give, right? And once you've given everything that you could have given, that's usually when they discard people. That's when and the discard comes when you're least expecting it. And they do it because they want to punish you, right? They want to destroy you, right? They want to kill you because you're being yourself, right? And narcissists know they don't have a sense of self. They don't possess what you possess, right? And that is somebody with a high level of empathy, a high level of respect, somebody who is a person of their word, that when they say they're going to do something, that they always will come through and do it. And narcissists know that they can't do that, right? So they need to steal somebody else's identity. They need to make it seem as though they are just like that person, right? In order to get what they can from them. And once they get everything that they deem they got from them, that's when they throw them away, right? So you have to understand that this is why we say once you figure out that you're dealing with a narcissist, you need to get away from them, right? You need to, stop contacting them. You need to, if you're married to them, you need to create and develop an exit plan, how you're going to start separating from them and assets from them. And you need to start doing this without them even knowing, because if they know anything about you, that's just more ammunition for them to destroy you. That's just more ammunition for them to eventually, kill you, right? Because especially if you're dealing with a malignant narcissist, these narcissists can go to some of the lows that, sorry, excuse me, that you wouldn't even expect, right? A malignant narcissist can actually poison your food, right? They will actually go to great lengths to poison your food and get you sick to the point where you're almost dead. Like, the longer you stay with them, the more they will amp up their abuse tactics. If they're a covert narcissist, they could do the same, or they could get you in trouble with the law. They could make up complete lies about you to the police or to the law, and then before you know it, now you're probably getting arrested, or you get served a notice or something like that for something you didn't even do, right? So this is what we're trying to say, guys. The longer you stay with the narcissist, the closer that you are to potentially dying, right? Because these people can actually drain. They will suck the life out, the life out of you, right? And they do this on purpose because they know exactly what they are doing, right? Because they know that everybody has a line. Everybody has a moment where they say enough is enough, right? And narcissists want to push that. They will continue to push and push and push and push until you break. And that is what is known as reactive abuse. When the narcissist knows that you don't like something, so let's say, for example, you don't like when the narcissist says a certain thing to you, right? And you keep telling them repeatedly to stop, right? You keep telling them to stop. But then what they keep doing is they keep saying that thing to you. They keep pushing. Now, hold on a second. I understand that when you're kids, when they are kids, when you were younger, we probably have done that once or twice to, people, our own age, or we did it to people because we were kids. That's understandable, because little children, they will do that. I'm talking about grown-ups, right? When you're a grown-up and somebody is always doing something that you don't like, they keep saying this, they keep saying that, pushing, pushing, pushing. That is what is known as reactive abuse, because what happens with the narcissist is that once they push you too far, and then you say to stop, and then you react at them, then you blow up and start yelling and screaming at them, and then they sit back and say, why are you being so serious for? You don't need to be so mean, or you don't need to be so serious. That is what is known as reactive abuse. And if they do enough of that to a person, that person can get high blood pressure to the point where they get boiled up and so angry that they blow up, and that they could potentially faint, because the narcissist knows that they push that person's buttons too far, and that person has had enough. They've had enough, right? So that's why I keep saying, that's why the title of this video is, the longer you stay, the closer you are to death. They will actually kill you. Their energy, their abuse, it will eventually kill a person. It will eventually become too much for a person, right? That's why it's important, guys, to, once you figure out that you're dealing with a narcissist, to leave them alone, to distance yourself from them. Start creating and developing an exit plan. If you need more help with that, let me know. I know exactly what to do, because I've been here myself, and I know exactly what approach to take. Because narcissists, the truth is, and the thing you have to remember is that all narcissists play by the same playbook. They all do the exact same things, but they do it to different people in different time zones and in different doses, depending on what those people provide for them, right? If it's a younger narcissist, they may have a certain threshold on how much abuse they will dish out to a person. If it's an older narcissist, they'll come down much harder because they're much older and they're much nastier because they've been in the game for so long, right? So it all depends also on what narcissist you're dealing with too, right? This is why I've said before in most of my videos, you really have to understand what narcissist you're dealing with. If you're dealing with a covert narcissist, then you're dealing with a narcissist that's very sneaky, very underhand, very passive aggressive, very much a narcissist that does things without you knowing, right? They're very secretive. They like to keep secrets. They like to fight in silence, right? They don't like to fight you directly. They like to fight you indirectly, right? Because they don't like being confronted with the truth. And narcissists in general don't like being confronted with the truth. But for this example, we're just talking about covert narcissists. Covert narcissists are very much aware of what they're doing, but they're not the ones that will yell and scream in your face. The only time a covert narcissist will yell and scream at you is if they're cornered to the point where you're throwing the truth at them constantly, and it's too much. It boils up to the surface where they freak out and then they yell. That's the only time they will yell. Otherwise, a covert narcissist won't fight you directly. They will get their flying monkeys. And if you're new to this channel, thank you so much for being here. But a flying monkey, if you're new to learning narcissism, a flying monkey is an enabler, somebody that the narcissist does their bidding for them. Whether it's collecting information about somebody, whether it's the narcissist going and fighting and creating an argument with you, telling that person to argue with you, and then that person, essentially a flying monkey is just a person who collects information about a person and then brings it back to the narcissist, right? That's a flying monkey. So that's what a covert narcissist will do, because covert narcissists are cowards. Covert narcissists are bullies. Covert narcissists, they're bullies in the sense that they wanna beat people down emotionally and intentionally to big themselves up, right? So that's a covert narcissist. Now, an overt narcissist is just like a covert narcissist. The only thing that's different is that you just flip it now. Instead of indirectly, now they fight you directly, right? And they also they tell you exactly how they feel about you because they're overt, right? And they will yell and scream. They will throw things. They will punch the wall. They'll do all manner of things, right? That's what an overt narcissist does. Now, when you're dealing with a malignant narcissist is much more dangerous than both a covert and an overt, in the sense that they will actually physically do damage to you. Like, they'll fight you, they will knock you out, they'll slap you in the face, they'll kick you, they'll scream in your face, they'll yell at you, they'll throw things, they'll do all manner of things to you, right? They'll probably shoot you with a gun, they'll stab you with a knife. Malignant narcissists are way more dangerous. And this is why I've said before, when you're dealing with a narcissist, do not tell them your plans on what you are going to do. Don't leave any letters in the house. Don't do any of those things. Please, guys, I beg you. For your own safety and peace of mind, don't do any of those things. What you're better off doing is leaving in silence. Let your close friends and people you trust, let them know what's going on. Let them know what's happening, and then create your exit with them, and then have them, come with you to get things when the narcissist is gone, and then when they're gone, collect as many things as you can, and then what you do is you bring it with you with that person, and if you have more things that you need to get, what you do is you call the cops, call the police, and then what you do when you call the police is you let them know, I still have some things, I need an escort to this address. The police will come with you, and they will be able to be with you when you get your things, just for your own safety, because malignant narcissists will kill you if they get the chance to, okay? So I need you guys to understand that when you're dealing with a narcissist, the longer you stay, the closer you are to dying, because the longer you stay with them, the more their abuse goes up. They get nastier and nastier and nastier. And the reason why they get nastier and nastier is because inside the narcissist's mind, the narcissist believes that everybody is out to get them. Inside the narcissist's mind, the narcissist thinks that when a person is staying with them for a long period of time, they think that that person is up to something. They believe that that person is doing exactly what they're doing, that that person's cheating on them, that that person is, abusing them. The narcissist, you can't win with narcissistic people, because narcissists, they have their own, they're in their own sense of reality, where everybody else is bad and they are good, which is not true. You're the good person. You're the empath. You're the amazing person. And the narcissist is bad. But see, narcissists can't have it. They can't, they want their cake and eat it too. They think that they can have everything and that they don't have to do anything for the things that they need, right? Because narcissists need supply. Now, what is supply? For all those who are new to my channel, supply is anything that the narcissist can use to abuse people. Supply is the way that you breathe air, the way that you live your life. Narcissists see everything as supply. Narcissists see being alive as supply too, believe it or not. That's how narcissists see life. You are an appliance to the narcissist. So when you run out of supply, then that's when the narcissist leaves you. Because the narcissist knows that every single relationship that they become a part, that they are in, the narcissist knows this. They know every relationship that they're a part of, or everything that they have is supplied to them. And once that thing runs out, once it depreciates in value, once the narcissist has no need for that thing anymore, they will just store it away as if it never happened. If it's a marriage and it's a spouse and it's a narcissistic husband or wife, once they find you not valuable anymore, once they find out that once they know that they cannot toy with you anymore, once they feel that you don't serve any purpose to them anymore, that's when they're going to throw you away just like that, as if nothing happened, right? Because narcissists, they cannot be satisfied, and that's one. And I actually made a video on this 2 videos ago. Why narcissists get divorced, why they leave people. It's because they're unsatisfied, and it's also for control. It has nothing to do with communication or money or anything like this. It has to do with the fact that they're not satisfied. And the truth is, narcissists are not satisfied with anybody, right? You could give everything to them and they'll never be satisfied. You could be a doormat, meaning a punching bag, for all the years that you're with them, and they will still not be satisfied with that, because narcissists always think that there's something better out there. Narcissists always think that, that a person, that they can always do better than their friends or their family or their spouses or everybody else. They think that they're better. This is why I said narcissists have a God complex, a superiority complex, where they believe that they're all the way at the top up here and everybody's at the bottom. In their delusional, disordered brain, they believe that they're at the bottom. They believe that they're at the top. And they believe everybody else is beneath them. And everybody has to be beneath them because it's about their image, right? Narcissists are all about their image, right? If it doesn't serve their image, then they will throw it away. Then they'll have nothing to do with it. If it has nothing to do with their image, right? Because narcissists have a fragile image, right? And once that image, that image gets exposed, that's when the narcissist can't handle it. Because narcissists, they spend years and years and years creating and crafting their image. And they can't have anybody ruining that image, crushing that image, exposing that image. That's why when you expose the narcissist, or that's why when you call them out for who they are, that's why the narcissist runs away. They will ghost you, and then they will disappear on you, because they can't have that, right? They in their delusional mind, it doesn't serve, it hurts their image, right? So that's why I say, guys, for this video, this is the last thing I'm going to say. If the longer you stay with the narcissist, the closer you are to eventually dying. They will eventually kill you, right? Because they will make you sick. They will do things to you that can actually kill you, right? If you're on the highway driving with them, let's say, they will point you to a direction where they'll say, turn this way. And then that will lead you to a dead end, or that will lead you on a road off a cliff or something like that. And then you can die. And then the narcissist will act as if it never happened. They'll move on to the next person and do the exact same thing, right? So that's why I say, guys, be very, very careful. Don't think for a second that you can change the narcissist. You can't. It's impossible. Don't think that the longer you stay with them, if you change this about you, if you do this, if you do that, that they'll change for you. No, that's not how this works, my people. It doesn't work that way. Don't think that, oh, if I stay longer, if I give them another chance, if I love them, if I pray for them, don't. No, that's not how this works. Narcissists are not like that. Narcissists can't be delivered. It just doesn't work because just because you deliver them doesn't mean that the disorder is going to leave them, because that disorder in their mind doesn't allow for them to get help, right? Because the other thing you have to keep in mind too is that narcissists, they live in a reality, in a world where nothing they do is wrong, where they're never wrong, where they are always right and everybody else is wrong, right? That's how narcissists live their life, believe it or not. So that's why I need you guys to understand is that narcissists, they cannot be helped. They can't be saved because narcissists believe that there's nothing wrong with them. Narcissists believe that they are better than everybody else, right? So that's something that's very, very important for you guys to understand is that you can't change a narcissist. It's impossible, because the thing is, if you tried to, if narcissists had to introspect, if they had to actually be honest with themselves, that means that they would have to think about all the lives that they've destroyed, all the people that they've lied to, all the people that they've cheated on, all the relationships that they've driven wedges between. Because believe it or not, narcissists can actually drive wedges between marriages too. If they're not married, they can actually ruin somebody else's marriage. And I'll explain that right now, and then I'm going to close the video and then I'll end this video. A narcissist can screw up somebody's marriage by easily going to that person and saying to that person who's married to that person that your spouse is cheating on you, right? And then that person will eventually go with their spouse, and then they'll have an argument, and then that spouse is going to be on edge thinking that their spouse is cheating on them, and then they'll eventually break up. And then the narcissist is going to target one of those spouses, whether it's a male or a female. If that narcissist is a female, they will target the male or the female, because narcissists don't have any morals or values either, right? They don't care if they sleep around with anyone. If they're a woman, they'll sleep around with other women. If they're a man, they'll sleep around with other men. Narcissists don't care, right? Narcissists don't have any morals or values, right? Because they live in the dark, right? Narcissists love darkness. That's how they thrive, right? So that's something more important to understand, is that when you're dealing with a narcissist, they don't care about anybody. They don't even care about themselves. And the fact is that they don't care about themselves. They don't take care of themselves. 99% of narcissists have at least one health problem. They have at least one health concern, right? And they some of the times they will tell you that. I'll be honest, they will tell you that. And some of the times they'll never tell you that, right? Sometimes you will never know that they had a heart problem or a defect or something like that, or a disorder. They won't tell you because they're worried about their image. They're worried about how people think, how people will perceive them. That's why narcissists creep into people's lives. That's why they they mirror back to you what it is that they think you want to see, right? Because when they do that, that means that they don't have to take accountability for who they are, right? And it makes them run away from having to be honest about the person that they are. That is a empty person. That is a nasty person. And they don't like knowing that they're a nasty person. So that's why they project. That's why they mirror back to people what people want to see. And projection is just when a narcissist tells you something that they themselves are doing, that they are guilty of doing, right? So if they tell you that you're a cheater and that you're a liar, that means that they're cheating on you and that they're lying, because they're running away from that, because they need it. They need to do this to run away from accountability, right? So guys, I just want to let you know, the longer you stay, the closer you are to death. That's what you guys need to know. So don't give narcissists second chances. When they try to love bomb you and try to, tell you that it wasn't that bad, or, oh, let's get back together. I'm so in love with you. You meant it all to me. I'm so sorry for what I did to you. Don't fall for it, because this is just the narcissist trying to play games with you. This is just them trying to see if you will take them back for another round of abuse, for them to kill you this time, because they felt as though they didn't finish you off last time. it's nothing's ever good with the narcissist, nothing. And the truth is, they're doing that to you, they're doing the same to thousands of other people that you will never know about. And sadly, those people are stuck and they will never figure out that the narcissist is actually a narcissist. All right. So thank you so much for joining me here this morning on Narcissism 101 Cracking Code with me, Paul Wisdom. Like I said before, if you'd like a one-on-one session, please email me, paul.wisdom_03@hotmail.com, or you can send a text message to 647-406-3057. If you want to talk, if you want to vent, if you need some more advice, if you're trying to create and develop an exit plan, please feel free to reach out to me. I'll be more than happy to help you out with that exit plan. I would just like to say, again, if you want to call, please send a text to that number and let me know that it's you and you want to talk about your narcissistic experience and that you've been watching my videos. If you just call the number, I may just block the number just because I just don't answer random numbers. Yeah, just text me and just let me know it's you, all right? So thank you so much for being here, guys, and I hope to see you on the next video. Thank you so much.